Friendship requires conversation. For us to communicate, we need topics of communication. If I depart from certain topics, then you can no longer hang with me when I'm speaking.
I feel like sometimes we have friends who only love us because they're helping us so much. You know, they want to hear when things are going bad, when there's a drama. It's like, oh my God, what's going on with you? What can I do to help?
Because sometimes people don't ask the question because they don't want to hear the answer. Right? If you feel like, okay, yes, I like you, you're here for me, but I'm not sure what this looks like, why not just ask?
There are some people, their sole mission is they want you down, and they want themselves down, first of all, because they don't love themselves enough to want to do better. It's comfortable. And then the moment you dare to try to reach to the top and you try to tell them what to do, to show them the way, all of a sudden you think you're better than them. Welcome back to Mind Your Wellness podcast, guys. We're in season 3. I'm your host, Obel. We have with you
Patricia.
Tracy Bell is there.
And we have a special guest in this podcast. Well, this season, we have a special guest with us, Woomendy. Welcome, Woomendy. We'll let her introduce herself in a little bit. We're so happy to have you. But while I'm here, guys, I want to thank you for your support last season, for those who've watched, who shared with your friends, your partners, your family members. We appreciate all the comments, even though some of them, they come hard for us, but we don't mind it. We don't mind the conversation going. We don't mind the thought-provoking conversation that we've been having. So continue to support us because we're going to be doing this for a long time.
Yes.
Okay? So you're stuck with us. With that being said, this subject is going to be something that I'm very passionate about, which is friendship. So we're excited. We're going to discuss all of the facet of friendship from, same-sex friendships, how would I say that? Like friends for benefits. We all know what that is. Or do we? We're going to talk about all things friendship with this episode. But without further ado, Woomendy, we want you to introduce yourself to our people. Let them know who you are and your background. We're happy to have you.
Okay, who am I?
You have 5 minutes to figure it out.
I am Woomendy, mother, friend, since we're talking about friendship, friend. I am a marriage and family therapist, PhD candidate in advanced human studies, and sexual abuse advocate, and everything else that comes with that.
Yeah, right. I love it.
I think the conversation we're going to have, I think we have so many different things that we can start with. But first and foremost, what is healthy friendship? What is that?
I'll tell you right now, if you can only tell them good news, if you can only share good news, they're not your friend. If you can only share sad news, sorry, I'm going to reframe that. Because I feel like sometimes we have friends who only love us because they're helping us so much. They want to hear when things are going bad, when there's a drama. It's like, oh my God, what's going on with you? What can I do to help? And they're very supportive. But as the minute that you have like a great news, or you graduated, or you achieved something, or you started a business, and you get like those like cold calls, like, I'm okay, I'll call you back. And the conversation is cold. You don't get the same interest, These are not great friendship, I feel. In my definition, a great friend is somebody that I can tell you that something great just happened to me and we're both excited. And that's one thing I always say about you, and Mandy share the same soul too, right? I feel like I never have to hide my achievement. And when I get around like other women where I don't have to hold back on what I'm doing, so you don't feel a certain way, where I'm free to be like, oh my God, this just happened to me. And you're like, oh my God, this is great, That's friendship.
I love that. What about you, Doc?
I think I'm going with you. What were you going to say?
No. It's okay. I didn't look at you this time. So you know it's you.
But I think every single one of us, we need someone with whom we can express ideas, our deepest insecurities, vulnerabilities. I think if you find a person with whom you can do that, that in itself is a friend. I agree with you that you need to be able to share the different side of the spectrum. You have some folks who are just around when they can give you a ride. The minute that you get your own car, it becomes a problem. So we must stay away from that. Now, I guess the better question that I'm going to give it back to you guys, how do you promote someone to that level to be called a friend? What test must that individual take and pass to serve in that position?
Right.
I guess that's you guys are the one with the mind.
We will go with our guest of honor.
I don't know. I think somebody can be, for me, someone is promoted as a friend or a good friend is when both of us are pouring into the friendship. Like you're making a conscious effort to pour into the friendship. That's how, because I have categories. It's really a joke where people would say, "Oh, I saw your friend." I was like, "No, you saw somebody I went to school with."
I can relate to
I
that.
feel like that's a term that's being used very loosely. Like this person's my friend. And when you say, "Why is this person your friend?" It's okay. Yeah, because I've known this person for X amount of years. Whereas it's not X amount of years, it's are we both making the conscious effort to pour into that friendship? And that can mean anything, right? I have friends that I don't talk to on a regular basis. I have friends that I hear from you when I hear from you, but when we talk, it's almost no time has passed.
Yeah.
We have friends where, okay, well, I'm here. You can call me whenever. I know you're here. I can call you whenever, but we don't have to talk on a day-to-day basis. I'll give you one example. One of my close friend years back, she said, "Oh, I feel like we don't have the same friendship." Right? I transitioned, I had children, and she was still no children, and she had more time, and the things that we used to do, we couldn't do them anymore. And in my head, I was looking at the text message and I was like, in Creole, I'm like, "Bye, Pavako."
Please translate. Please translate.
In my head. So what I said was, I don't have the kind of time that I used to have anymore, right? Just to translate that. And I took a step back and I went back and I said, no, that's somebody who cares about the friendship. Right? Because she could have moved on and said, well, I don't really care that this friendship has shifted. And I had to look at my part and I said, well, I have to pour into that friendship. So I had to talk to her and said, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where you are. What does this friendship look like right now? What can I give you as a friend? What can you give me as a friend? This is a transition.
I love that communication.
So I got a couple of questions then. What if she's getting something from the relationship, but on your end, you're not getting anything? Do you continue to waste time just to, is
Born?
No, because we're not pouring into the relationship. If I'm not getting anything out of the relationship, then it doesn't work for me.
And I think that's why I also like the fact that she asked. She also communicated what she can bring to the table, what she can do in this present moment, considering the changes that she had in her life. So that also allows her to now hear the other party's expression on, well, this is what I need from you. And then that probably would be the determinant factor whether or not you continue that friendship.
There is something else to that too. When you're able to make the shift together, that can also be categorized as healthy friendship because we all evolve, right?
Right.
We all get to a point in life where I have friends and you're all the way here, or you're in a marriage, all of these things.
Well, if we can redefine it, what if I can
if you can transition with me, then it's okay.
It's okay. That's a friendship. That's
okay.
What it's for.
Yeah.
But we need to redefine that. Because there's different levels of friendship, right? Is it someone that we just cordial? Like if you need me, I'm here for you, but I wouldn't consider you you a friend. Like if I have
Anymore.
something, whether good or bad, you wouldn't be the first person that comes to
Yeah.
mind for me to call you and
Yeah.
talk to you about it.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's the transition that happens. Yes, the friendships that we had in high school, or the friendship that we had in college, or the friendship
Mhm.
that we had in different stages of our life,
Yeah.
that may change, and it's okay. I think a lot of people struggle with the change that comes with friendship.
Yeah.
They feel like, well, yeah, this person, we've gone through so much together, and I have to hold on to this even though it's not healthy
The
anymore.
dragon, because there comes a point where you are at a level where that friendship is actually dragging. you,
Dragging
like, pushing you
Exactly.
forward.
Right.
Exactly.
You can
And
bring
if you
everybody
can have the
with
conversation to say, can we grow together? Because I'm not going backward.
Mhm.
If we can't do that, then that's where we stop, right?
Exactly.
So how do you know? I think it was you. How do you know when someone is pouring into the relationship because they just want to be, just want to get something? They're trying to be
Get something out of
around
you.
because they see potential. They see, I look good. You know, I'm about
Opportunistic.
to get a PhD. I'm about to get this. You know, I'm just going to pretend to pour into you so I could get what I want when I want it. How do you distinguish between that type of individual and one who is actually
Invested.
really invested into the or is there a way?
I don't know. In the beginning, I don't know because I can't tell about people's intentions, right? But I'm thinking, I'm paying attention to the things that are happening. Or when you call, what does that phone call look like?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it because, hey, I know you're connected to this, or I know you know this, and then I'm calling about this? When you call, is the phone call about you, or is the phone call about us?
Exactly.
Right? Because I've been in a situation where people call and then they talk, and then they find out that I was going through something, and they like, oh, how come you never told me? Well, you never gave me a chance to
Alright.
tell you because you always had something, right?
Mhm,
And once you realize that, that's when I disconnected. And I was like, no, that's no longer a friendship that I want to be part of
mhm.
because I'm not getting anything out of it. It's more about you than it is about me. So in the beginning, I may not know the intention, but once I figure out there's certain things that's coming out, that's when I remove myself from it.
There
But
is
you know, not
something to
everybody
that.
is emotionally intelligent to realize that, though. Like you said, some people just still stay in that same cycle and they get mad when the person calls. They just don't pick up, or you know, just
Yeah,
be
right.
avoidant. But
Those.
it's really something that you have to look within or deeper. Like if you're somebody like me whose friendships are very intentional, like I tell Patricia this all the time, like I'm very intentional with friendship. With everything that I do, I'm intentional. So if somebody is trying to be my friend, first, you know, why are we gonna be friends? Yeah, people be like, oh, have
Be
you heard
screening
they
people.
throw that term so loosely, bestie, best friend. Like,
No.
why?
Yeah.
I want to take a personal example, if you allow me. There is what you said about like if you feel like the relationship is only about
Yeah.
you,
Mhm.
but you never give me a chance to share.
Yeah.
So I feel there are people who are naturally won't share,
They're what?
and they don't
Naturally.
share. Naturally don't share.
That's-
That
yeah.
is true. Yeah.
And I think Obel and I had to talk about that, where sometimes I have to intentionally say I'm calling to check on her.
Yeah.
You know, because she's someone who's like, how are you?
Mhm.
Some people are they just giver. They're like natural giver. If you don't pull something out of them sometimes,
Mhm.
and that goes with like, you know, being a great friend. Like
Right.
sometimes I'm like, no, today is not about me. We're not gonna be talking
Right.
about my issue. We're gonna be talking about you, right?
Mhm.
So you have to be intentionally shifting that dynamic sometimes and be like, I've been sharing a lot and you've been supporting me. What's up?
What's
with you?
going on with
Yeah.
you?
You know?
But I think it's different too, though. There's people who would share. There's a difference between sharing and going deep, right? There
Mhm.
are certain things that may not. I'm not a sharer, right? I'm not a sharer. But there are like little things that happen, right? It's did you provide after once you hang up the phone? Sometimes somebody say, "How are you?" and start talking. Does it even give you the chance to say how? Does it even give you the chance to
Yeah.
to reply, right? And you know, and I also think it's what you say, you know, intention and purpose, right? There are different seasons in your life where what you're looking for in a friendship,
Make
this
it different.
person may not be able to give it to you, and it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, you know how I feel about putting blanket on
Right,
people.
right.
Mhm.
I think a healthy friendship is for those people watching. You know, they'll always
Coming
have
for
their
you.
opinion. I don't.
I'm not gonna do that.
I
I'm
have-
not gonna do that.
hey,
dude.
I have 99 problems, and that's not
They're
one.
not
of
one of them.
them.
Thank you for your support, though. Keep commenting.
I have 99. But friendship is whatever you define it, the healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
For the drug dealer, a healthy relationship is someone who's telling me when the police are coming. For the pastor, is someone who's praying with me. So I want you to understand it's up to you individually to define what is your
What is it
definition.
for
What is your
you?
definition of a healthy friendship? What I can do, however, is to speak of my observation, what I've observed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I've observed over the course of life is that the top is very lonely. So if you don't want to be lonely on top, you better bring your people from, no, you bring your people with you from the bottom.
I love that.
Okay? Because here's why the top is lonely. And I'm going to,
Let's go.
I have a question to that.
there's a bunch of people on top, but I don't know you enough to open up to you.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I can be a millionaire, you a millionaire, but I don't know how you made your money. I don't know where's that coming. Then I am,
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't.
you know, I'm not open up to you like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay?
Speaking to some.
So the top, there's a lot of people on top, but the top is very lonely because everybody is individually packaged up there. Now, those who are not are those who bring their people with them, meaning that that's the reason why as I grow, I get a PhD, I want my sister, I want my cousin, I want my folks to grow with me if they so desire. As I get this real estate deal, I want to bring them into it as partner as well.
Right.
Because friendship requires conversation. For us to communicate, we need topics of communication.
Exactly.
If I depart from certain topics, then you can no longer hang with me when I'm speaking.
So I have a question
See,
for you now.
give me 1 second. I'm
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
to you in a minute.
yeah.
So what happens is that the top is whatever you are. The top there, the pastors, for instance, they have few people that they can approach to say that I'm having a moment of weakness.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Those, if you're a millionaire, everybody knows you're a millionaire, but there might be a day that you don't have $20 to put gas in your car because all your assets is tied up. I cannot walk up to you in the millionaire club saying that I don't have $20.
Right.
But if you were struggling with me when I was at Florida State, you know this guy when he didn't have $20. Now we're millionaire together. I say, yo, all my assets are, all my funds are tied up in this real estate deal. I need $20 to put gas in my car. We on top together.
Together.
We were in the bottom together.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
So that's my observation. The top is pretty darn lonely. And I've been around a lot of rich people. I'm telling you. But different rich people have different different places of making money.
Right.
You have the football players, they know how you in the league. Okay, I'm gonna hang with you. You
Right.
have a bunch of people in the medical field that, okay, yeah, I respect your money. Now we hang. But when you have a bunch of different people on top from different segments, it's a very lonely place. So my advice to you is bring your people from the bottom.
But that's a good
Is
question.
that?
You know, this is good because we talk about, my husband and I talk about this all the time. But now the question is, the people on the bottom, what if they don't want to go on top with you?
That was my question.
Because there are some
right?
people. There are some people. Their sole mission is they want you down, and they want themselves down.
Right.
First of all, 'cause
Yep.
they don't
But
love
you know
themselves
what?
enough
It's
to want
comfortable
to
here.
do better.
Right.
It's comfortable, and then the moment you dare
Mhm.
to try to reach
Go
to the
up.
top, and you try to tell them what to do,
Yeah.
to show them the way, all of a sudden you think you're
That
better
was
than
my
them.
question because
Here's
all
the
of a
question.
sudden
You change.
Here's the answer.
Exactly.
So
It's
then-
not you who don't want to bring
Not
them up
the
with
woo who don't wanna
you.
bring- So now
It's
you leave them
who-
behind.
Exactly.
No, I
Your
didn't
choice
leave
is
you.
to leave them
I
behind.
invited you to come with me. You did not want to do the sacrifice.
So you leave them.
You do, yes. We are selfish beings
Yeah,
as
that's
humans.
Yeah.
When you do that, when I invite you to invest with me, is because when I get up there, I don't want you to say that the reason why you did not invest is because you didn't know. I preach you the good gospel, not necessarily because I want you to go to heaven, but because when you go to hell, I don't want you to say it's because you didn't hear
Some would
it.
still say it.
I don't care.
But that's
No,
your-
I never.
I mean,
I
that's
do
your
not.
part.
What he's
But-
saying
but-
is that
but
he'll
you're
give.
doing it for your
Yeah, his
conscience.
conscience is
You're
Yeah.
clear.
doing it for your conscience. It's
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah.
there, my friendships. Yeah.
You do it for
Yeah.
your conscience.
Exactly.
What the voodooists who call the gobons anges.
Wait, what is that? He's translating.
Gobons anges.
So
Yes.
I don't think that can be translated.
in literal terms,
Little good
Lit-
angel.
little big
No, no, no,
angel,
big-
little big angel. No, big good angel.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Whatever.
Good angel.
You do it for your conscience. That way, if you choose to go to hell, you have a
It's
choice.
your choice.
But you cannot go to hell because you said that I did not invite you to heaven.
I love that. Now we gotta move on because we have so much to talk about when it comes to
my
friendships,
goodness,
y'all.
That was deep.
Let us know what you think about this and have you experienced some things like that before? Because we want to hear your thoughts. Now let's move on to something that I think is super important to talk about because there's always battle when it comes to that, is having a lot of either opposite sex friendships, and how do you keep boundaries, right? We didn't talk about too much boundaries within like regular
right.
friendships, same sex, but let's talk about boundaries within opposite sex friendships. And there are people that believe that when a woman has too many male friends, then that can become a problem. Or
Well, what if
it
they're
looks
gay?
like
What if
they-
they're gay?
they
So
look
that- we
it
have to
looks
make
suspicious.
we have to make provision for that too.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
clarify that.
yeah,
That could be
yeah.
gay.
Yeah, that's true
Is
too.
that
I
a
mean,
problem?
no, but what do you guys feel about that concept that if you are with friends of an opposite sex, then it's kind of hard because then automatically it can turn to something either sexual or leaving the platonic world to a romantic relationship.
I have something to say on that. And a lot of people might not agree, but I feel like if you're constantly looking for male friendship and you have 0 girlfriends and it's always the men that you're comfortable with, like you have no female in your circle, I feel like in some basic level, it's a search for a father figure.
It's a big statement.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Like I said, you might not agree.
No, we're not here to agree or disagree. We're here.
Because there is something that you get from having female friends that your male friends will never be able to give you. I don't care if you're gay or whatever it is. There's something about a woman's circle.
What
How
if I
you
don't want to deal with your drama?
Well, it doesn't have to be just about drama. If you have a girlfriend and it's all about drama, then you probably need another girlfriend. That doesn't mean you need to switch completely to the opposite side.
Not to be sexist, but
We're friends.
what they
I can tell
say.
you, we got no
do
drama.
have girl drama.
But we don't. I don't do girl
You
drama.
go to level too. I feel like I
don't go to girl drama. I'm sorry. I just don't do it.
Like
that's why I don't have
if we only talking for gossips, then I move from that level.
The type of friend.
That's one thing that I'm
You don't gossip
I
with your
see.
spouse?
I actually don't gossip like that.
But that's healthy gossip.
There's
too.
gossip.
Yeah.
Healthy drama.
Yeah.
So what do you define by girl
Like,
drama? Because that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
question. What do you
Yeah.
define by
Yeah.
girl drama?
Yeah.
Why do I look
I
like
don't
a
know.
girl?
You
Fighting
seem
over
to like-
something and
I don't
stuff.
know. You say you don't want to deal with the girl drama. You say you don't want to deal with girl drama. So
But
what do you know
anyway,
about girl drama?
to finish
Right,
to finish the thought,
Yeah,
I
go
feel like women should make it a mission. I'm not saying you can't have a lot of male friends, and I'm not saying that of course I have some women thinks that I have boundaries. Of course, I just feel more comfortable with men. You need to find out why. Why is it that you can't sustain a female friendship? Is it about your mom? Is it about your dad? What is it that
But
you're
does it
looking
always
for?
have to have a deeper meaning connected
Right.
with
I'm not
psychoanalysis?
saying it has to have a deeper meaning, but I'm saying that it's important for you to have that in your life.
What if I don't need that in my life?
I don't trust the fact that you don't need that, but you only need it with the opposite sex.
Possible.
I would say
I
there's
guess.
both benefits.
There's both benefits
Yeah,
to it.
having
I mean, that you can have opposite sex friends. You can.
I think there are levels, obviously, as you've said, levels
To
of friendship.
everything, right.
You can have one, but I think men tend to do things differently at times.
So do you believe that people can be friends with the opposite sex? And not
Do
have
I believe that they can be?
and not
And I get to
get into the, sexual
I guess can it be
desires.
agape? Agape is the
Agape
word. Can you
love,
have like
yeah.
agape love for your?
It
I
depends.
think
Just
you
pure
can.
It
You
depends on
can
the
friendship
have
level.
love.
brotherly
It
love.
depends
Yeah.
of the level of the friendship and the boundaries that are set.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you set those
How
boundaries?
vulnerable you allow yourself to be with
Mhm.
that individual.
Yeah.
If we must ask the question, if I like you so much to a point you can be my best friend,
Why can't we just be
why can't I like you
be my
to be
wife?
my girl?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going into
different.
marriage.
It's different.
It's different.
It's
I said
There's
my
different.
girl.
different requirements.
But I'm saying, but
Yes.
we want to know.
There's different requirements because the things that I look for in the friendship, I say
Mhm.
not me, right? But the things that some people may look for in the friendship may be different from what they're looking for in a partner, right? Because as a friend,
Mhm.
I deal with you and you go home and I go home,
Yep.
right? As a partner, I have to constantly deal with
Mhm,
you, right?
mhm,
And I
mhm.
may not want to deal. You may have certain characteristics where I'm like, no. But there's different friends, right? I may have three friends and you may be the person I go to for X, Y, and Z. You may be the person I go to for X, Y, and Z,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But with a partner, it's a package, right? When I look at everything that I need, you don't have everything that I need.
Hmm.
But you meet the requirement for friendship, though.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you should always be friends with your partner.
That it's different.
Well,
but
that's
chaos
a- that's
that
a-
doesn't
yeah.
have to be
Should
true,
be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
opposite doesn't
What
have
is
to
that?
be true.
Does it
You
have
should
to
always-
be
what do
Your
you mean?
partner, you should be
'Cause I
friends
know
with
some
your
people
Like
partner.
your
But
spouse?
the opposite
Oh, okay,
doesn't
okay.
have to be. The
It
opposite
helps.
is not true.
Yeah.
The opposite does not have to be true. And I think it's how the friendship started too, right?
Okay.
Because there are people who are like, yeah, I went to grade school with you and I know you and, we're friends. Versus I think it's how the friendship started when we're talking about boundaries, right? Is it somebody that was talking to you and you're like, yeah, you can't be my partner, but we can be friends? Then there's a slippery slope because
Yeah.
there was already a sexual thing,
Yeah.
attraction that was there, at least from one person.
Yeah.
right?
That's different that, okay, yes, we grew up together or we met through a friend and, we're just these people who get along and that's all there is. So I think, yes, people of different gender can be friends. I think it's
I mean, of
based
course they
on...
can. We're not saying that
yeah,
they cannot.
I mean,
Healthy
brothers
friendship,
and
healthy
sisters,
friendship
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
you
boundaries
can
that
have.
can be. I think
Yeah.
it's based on the boundaries that are there and how the friendship started. Really.
Yeah, I mean, anything to the extreme is bad. I mean, of
Yeah.
course you can be friends, but once the affection is too much, once the touching is getting out of hand,
When you're calling late at
when
night.
you're calling late at night, when you want to insert yourself in certain things and the hug is too tight, then
But I feel like that's not a...
The hug
that's
is
not
too
a-
tight?
Right, but I feel like that's
I
not...
don't need you to hug me.
I
Stop
think-
hugging me so
I think
tight.
the difference to that too is there's a difference between, different gender friendship when two people are single versus different gender friendship when one person or two people get into a relationship.
Let's get into that
Then that
then.
changes everything.
That's what we were going to get into because I know, Patricia, we talked about it briefly about a married woman is the death of another man. So can you
What?
please clarify
Say
that?
again? What is that?
Offline, okay? Patricia and I had this conversation. I need you to bring this on here, on air. The statement was a married woman is the death
of another man.
of another man.
The Bible said it. I
A
didn't.
woman or a married woman?
A married
A
woman.
married.
A married woman.
Not
So-
just a woman, a
What the
married woman.
Bible said.
What does that mean?
Let's refer it
Right.
to that.
Okay.
Let's refer it to that. It's in the Bible. It's in Proverbs 16 or something like that. So the proverb goes, if you pursue a married woman, you're pursuing your own death. Because first of all, people think like, oh, I'm not trying to have sex. But even if you lusting, the Bible said, if you're looking and you lusting, it's already adultery. Like you don't have to be touching me. You don't have. If you're fantasizing about it, it's already adultery.
Right.
And the Bible is clear. You're just looking for your own death.
Mhm.
So the way that I was saying it, I didn't just make it a statement. The way that I was saying is that sometimes it's our responsibility. Like if you're a married woman, it kind of is your responsibility to make sure the boundaries is firm when you meet like male colleagues or male friends or whatever. And like once the person is just like, they're so infatuated, they love you so much. Like I remember I was having a conversation with my auntie and she's like, somebody was talking to him and all of a sudden the guy is like, oh, I'm in love with you. And she's like, you're not in love with me. You love the conversation and the dopamine that's being released when we talk.
Mhm, mhm.
And if you can't control yourself around me, then I need to be removing myself from you. I don't even have to put it on your head
Mhm.
to be like, oh, you're supposed to have the discipline. I'm not counting on your discipline.
But is the opposite true though? Going with your biblical understanding,
right?
you said a married woman is the death of a man.
Another man. Mhm.
So is a married man
The death of
the death
The
of
death
a?
of
should be.
I mean, we can apply it to both.
we know when the Bible says a woman, I mean, it's usually like gender neutral. It applies to both sides. Adultery is
Yeah.
on
Oh, I
both
didn't know that.
sides.
I didn't know that. That's how it works.
No, it is.
But some people like that. Some people, I remember, I have I would say a friend, he used to be a bartender, and he said that women would approach him whenever, like some women like men with rings, like they just
Yeah,
love that
I've heard
you
of that.
engage. I don't have to have you full time, and some people like those kind of relationship.
But that's not a friendship, though.
I think women have a
But
a
that's how it
skill.
always
Yeah,
started.
yeah, but that's but no, but if
What
you're in
about-
friendship,
what
it's
about-
not a friendship.
What about the people? I'm not gonna say women because I wanted to apply to both parties.
Right.
There are people, they will know that they have no intention on being with this person romantically.
Mhm.
They become their friend and they know that this person start growing interest in them and they just
Mm.
drag them along. Just keep playing, just
Yeah.
flirting, just
That's
keep it
cruel.
light and like, well, yeah, we
Because
can be
it's-
friends.
It might be
then
gratifying to the ego. The
We're
ego
not
loves
going
gratified.
to be anything more than that.
It's
And they
also
just
taking advantage.
Keep that relationship
Well,
going and
Here we go with the taking advantage thing.
and they
The
friend zone.
person who's doing it is not a minor. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
This is an adult who understands that this guy does not want me, but I am going to continue to give him the attention, although he continuously put it right back in my face.
Hoping that things might change.
Might
So let's stop with that
So it's
victim.
not right. It's
yeah,
not advantage.
they
It's
took advantage of me,
you,
this and this.
yeah,
Wow.
you
Cassie's
decided
been-
to
well,
get
let me
along.
just not go deep.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Stop
go
being
deep.
the
No,
victim.
we're
He
not
did
gonna-
not
we're
trick
not
you.
gonna
Keep
go-
going.
He did not
That's
trick you,
true.
sis.
He
He
did-
didn't want you to begin
mean-
with, and he told you, but you
He's
didn't
not
listen.
that into you.
He's
Is
not
that
that into you.
Right.
Move
You know,
on.
just let's be real.
You too,
You
guy.
know the guy played football, or he has some stuff that you'd like to identify with.
Mhm.
You like telling your friend that, you know what, guess who I was talking to? I was talking to Jesse Bellazer. You love that. It's gratifying for your own
For
ego
you.
as well.
Right.
So maybe we need to look at both sides of the equation
Right.
instead of looking at one side, because we
Yeah.
cannot properly solve an equation by looking at one side.
Mm.
Right. No, agreed.
Well, yeah. I mean, if
And you
it's not
took pictures with them, save it on your phone so you can show your friends
so you
that
can
that's
show
who
your
I
friends
was
that
why
with.
I
you're
was-
together.
And you know the guy is not with
It's
you.
also a
You know he does
delusion.
not want you.
Want
Yeah,
you.
it's a delusion.
Sometimes people would say, well, there were mixed feelings or
Yes.
mixed signals. And what I always say is, if there's mixed anything, then it's a no.
It's a no.
If you have to think about it, like, is it this or is it that? Then let's go with it isn't.
Yeah.
Until the person say it is. Because a lot of times people like to say, okay, well, there were signs, there were this sign, but there were also other signs that say that it wasn't. You just choose to
Because-
focus on what you wanted to focus
Yes.
on and blame it on somebody else. Whereas it was, you participated in that. You were a willing participant in
Yes.
that.
Mm.
So
To a
if you're not
hammer.
clear, on a man or a woman's intention with you
Mm-hmm.
in friendship or whether or not romantic relationship, move on for
How
your
about when
own
it's
peace
clear?
of mind. Well, if you're clear that they don't want you, right? Because what she said with the mixed signals, sometimes they will get maybe he liked me because every time I call, he answers at a certain time. Maybe he likes me because every time I need something, even though he says that he will not pursue me, he still is at my availability. He's still showing up for me and he still listens to my sad stories,
Maybe
things
as a
like
good
that.
person.
And the man could just simply be a good
A good
person,
person.
a good man.
Or
He's just showing
somebody
support.
can't say
That's just
no.
nonsense.
That emotional
And-
connection that you're building with that person, especially when it comes to women. Well, men as well
Men
too.
too.
We need to stop saying
Yeah.
women only
Yeah,
as if
yeah.
men don't have emotions, right? So you're building that emotional connection with that
Right,
person,
right.
and you're stringing them along.
Yes.
And then you know how they feel about you.
And
but
you're
you're like,
gonna
well,
say,
it's not my
you
business.
know,
It's not my
right,
business.
right,
I'm not
right.
responsible for your emotions.
Mhm.
But
Right?
you're not.
Because
And this is what I mean when I,
know,
But you're
said.
not.
But this is what I mean when I said taking advantage. I'm not saying like you're minor or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I think it's cruel to string somebody along. Like you want.
But why
I
not
didn't tell
ask
you
the
to.
question
Did I
though?
tell
Why
you?
not ask the question? I feel like X, Y, and Z. I feel like, do you like me or do you not like me? Why not just be? Because sometimes people don't ask the question because they don't want to hear the answer.
that is true
Right?
too.
If you feel like, okay, yes, I like you, you're
Yep.
here for me, but I'm not sure what this looks like. Why not just ask?
All I know, there's
Exactly.
some stuff in life you don't go on maybes. Okay?
Period.
If there's a house here, I said, Patricia, there may be a bomb in this house.
That's extreme. Your
But
smart self should know better.
And
Oh my God.
do you want to go on that?
No, I'm not walking.
Right.
There's some stuff you just don't want
In
to
the
go on
movies, they
maybes.
show you those
You
people
purposely do
walking,
it.
Hmm.
trying to
Stop with that
experience.
victim and all that nonsense.
But some
Yes.
people do take advantage, Doc, because
Take advantage
sometimes.
of what?
Okay.
You
let me
signed
give
up
an
for
example.
Because of the ego.
Because
of
of the things you're receiving.
Because of
No,
the ego,
because of the
exactly.
things that you're receiving from that person. Because I think we took an example where like the guy pay everything, pay school because you think it's going somewhere. Like you investing, like you paying school for her, you paying this for her, you paying that for her because you think there is hope. But the person never loved you in the
No,
first
no, it was not
place.
about love. It was not. The person was paying the school because his ego was getting gratified by
Right.
the attention you giving to him. I pay for something. I pay for the school in return for the attention. We all understand the transactions here.
Right.
Don't act like you didn't get anything out.
But
Out
what
of it,
but what
right.
if the benefit of the friends for benefits or it's not established? What if they don't? I mean, it's established.
It may
because
not be sexual.
There was no
Right,
agreement.
there was no
Exactly.
agreement that
Right,
the
right,
relationship.
right.
We just know that yes, I am benefiting, but you also know that I like you, but you also know well I'm not
But I
going
think
anywhere.
it goes
Right,
back
But it's not
right.
like well, this. Let me just let you know right now. This is gonna be just friends for benefits situationship.
Yeah.
Right,
Wanna
but
accept
But
I
at
think
the
it
same-
goes back to
Accept it.
conversation though. Are we
Yeah.
talking or are
Right.
we assuming?
Yeah,
Right? Because
right,
as human
exactly.
beings, we like to assume just to feed our egos.
But I
Yeah.
don't have a responsibility
because-
if I don't care about you like that. I don't have the
Exactly. Because
responsibility.
it should be your
Tell you.
responsibility because you're the one who cares.
I don't have the responsibility to get you out of your assumption.
I love that.
Ah.
That's
I
not my
love that.
business.
No.
Yeah.
You assume what you want to assume. I did not tell you to assume. It is not my responsibility to tell you to get out of those assumptions.
Yeah.
I may see where it's
shouldn't be.
going.
I agree.
It shouldn't be. And sometimes you if you're looking for something, you're going to find it, right?
Yes.
Whatever you're looking for. Like if you're hungry
know
and
what
I
that-
bring you a plate of food, are you gonna ask me where I got that food from? No, you're just gonna eat because you were hungry. You were looking for that. Whether that food I just picked it out of the trash, you're gonna eat that, right? I'm just saying this is an extreme. You're gonna eat that. It's the same thing, right? If you're looking for attention, you're looking for love, you're looking everything that this person does, you're gonna think it's love.
That's why
You're
the
gonna
Creole said, "Mache chaché,
I
pas
don't
jamais
miss
dans mes
a
sans souper."
souper.
If you
Now,
look
let's
for-
translate that.
if you're looking
Don't-
for something, you will
Those
You'll
who
find
say-
it.
find it.
yeah.
Right.
And to a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, like you said, if you're looking for attention, any little thing looks like, oh, this guy gives me attention.
Mm-hmm.
To a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
And some people are irresponsible with their hearts. So you just have to take responsibility
Oh my goodness.
for what
Let's
you
talk about
what
that.
you're
It's
what
yours.
you're going to
shouldn't- You shouldn't
experience.
trust somebody else.
Yeah,
to
you
take
shouldn't
care
trust
of it
somebody.
for
Yeah,
you.
it beats inside of your own body, my friend. So
Exactly. Because there are people that would say somebody just say hello or just like a picture on social
or
media.
open the door.
And they take it as it's attention or this person like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
it's
yeah.
you. Yeah.
By the way, that's
So
I'm
I
glad
love
you
that.
say
But
that.
some people are just seeking for that.
You know something?
They are.
Go ahead, Doctor.
By the way, that's something that's the most annoying thing ever.
Yes.
That, I'm just trying to be a good human.
Yeah. Simple kindness.
I open the door for you.
Turned on.
And
Yeah.
somehow you
You
think
think
that I
I'm
want you.
coming on.
Well,
with
number
you.
one, if I
Yeah.
wanted you, you would be mine a long time ago. I don't want
Yeah.
you. Stay in my court.
Talk your. Psh,
Okay.
Talk your.
So
psh.
relax. I'm just trying to be
Relax.
a good human being. Walk in the door and keep going.
I love that.
And
You know why we get to that point, y'all? It's because I think there's so much toxicity going on. When a woman find a man who's just nice, you feel like the heaven opens. All
Yep.
of, oh my God, I'm in love. Because you are so, sometimes you're so used to people taking advantage of you, treating you a
Yeah,
certain
that's
way.
what it
That's
is.
your
When you
problem.
find
Go to your
you come
therapist.
across a man who opened the door.
You won't take them, doc.
No,
No,
I'm
but
good.
the basic things,
I got my own
things
problem.
becomes like a huge,
Like a
yes,
huge
because you do this
thing,
for me.
like I'm getting ready to be married to you because you
Yeah.
opened the door for me. You know,
Yeah.
you gave me a ride. Oh my God, you
Yeah.
want to marry me?
Somebody would say,
It gives them a sense of safeness or safety, you know.
And
It's like,
it's sad, but
yeah,
that's the truth.
or
Well,
it
it's the
may be
market.
the fact that somebody's noticed, right? Somebody's like,
yeah,
I've heard men pass by and say, "Oh, you look beautiful," and they're like, "Oh, I'm married." No, you're just beautiful. You're a
Yes,
beautiful married
yes,
woman.
yes,
it doesn't
yes.
have to be attached to you.
Like
beautiful.
sexual.
But,
You don't have to be
but
something
what that
sexual.
put me as a
let's
black
talk
man,
about
for
beautiful
instance,
too.
Uh-huh.
is that your beautiful sister. Now I have to restrict myself to tell you this
because you know what
because I don't want you to think that all of a sudden I want something more.
Something
Right.
more.
So what does this get into?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna complain that black man is not giving the
It's not
affection
giving you
Compliment,
that you
affection,
deserve.
right?
Let's kind of
right.
get real here.
But let me go. That what you say is true. There is like a gray area to that. There is a look that goes with saying that you're beautiful. That's always sexual.
Oh,
I think
Always?
this,
there is
both
a
I guess
look.
the look,
has a
the look.
There is a look.
Oh.
There is a look. Like, don't tell me like you're like, oh my God.
Well, that's extra. But we can. No, we're not talking about that.
You look fine, girl.
You look fine.
That's extra.
Oh no.
I think that's extra, and you can always tell the difference between
You
those.
can. That, you
Yeah,
really
yeah,
can. You
exactly,
can.
exactly.
Versus somebody say you look very nice today.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And it's
I like your
okay.
scarf or
Yeah.
things like that. So, yeah.
Moral of the story: communicate, people.
Yeah.
Communicate. Set
Yeah.
the boundaries for your friendship. Make sure you know where this is going. Any relationship it is, whether it's a relationship, friends with benefits. Be in agreement with what it is. If it's mixed signal, like Mandy said, if it's mixed, it's a no. Don't go there. Like Dr. Belize said, if you can't define it for yourself and you don't understand it, I'm not responsible for you. Everybody just be responsible for your own self, right?
And also too, you have people that want the ambiguity of, friendships
do
too.
like
and
that, yeah.
That's why they changing their names and doing different things and having different titles. But that's what they want too. If that's what you want, just know that's what you want and that you need to accept consequences
But
and
don't
don't
turn
switch
around
up.
and play victim.
Don't play victim and don't switch up on people when they tell you this is what it is. So in other words, this was good.
Yep.
Anybody else have a last word? But I appreciated this conversation.
Yeah. And mind your wellness because
It's your business.
Again. I don't know if you guys know that. Mind your wellness because
it's your business.
That's right. That's right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Also, give us a 5-star review because we're not just on YouTube. We're also on everywhere you listen to your podcast. Thank you guys. See you next time.